What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. So today you join me inside the latest generation Mercedes Benz GLE and we're going to be doing a review on it. Now, big thanks to Mercedes Mercurus, which is the local Mercedes Benz dealership out here in Zanin, for once again allowing me another opportunity to review one of their cars. Now, the GLE has actually recently received a facelift, but actually the difference is actually quite minor. But yeah, we'll do a full walk around of this car, and I'll also chat to you guys some of the differences that are going to come on the facelift, although the pricing on that hasn't actually been revealed on the official Mercedes-Benz SA website. They still have the pricing for this pre-facelift, but nonetheless, I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's jump right into it.
As I woke up one morning, as I woke up one morning, as I woke up one morning, just thinking about this night. As I woke up one morning, just thinking about this night.
Okay, so here it is then, and once again, let's just take a moment to appreciate our surroundings because it looks absolutely gorgeous out here. Okay, the Mercedes-Benz GLE is a medium-sized luxury SUV of the ML class. It was first introduced in 1997 with the M163 generation. It sits in between the GLC and the GLS and shares platforms with the latter. In 2015, it was renamed to GLE as Mercedes was renaming its entire SUV lineup to have them more in sync with their hatchback and sedan counterparts. So this being the GLE is part of the E-Class family in terms of class. So in terms of design, the car actually looks very striking, like this bonnet with the power domes, which just make it look very aggressive. The daytime running lights also help in making the car look very mean. You have an absolutely huge grille, and this one being the AMG line, it gets the diamond style pattern grille. So on the upcoming facelift, you get the new diamond style grille with the little Mercedes 3-point style making up the pattern of the grille itself. So you have this air curtain down here aiding with aerodynamics. You have this chrome touches down here which help it look more tough and rugged because this is an SUV and it is also an off-road vehicle. Coming around to the side, this being the AMG line, gets the even bigger AMG style wheels, but these are actually even more upgraded because as standard on the AMG line you get 20-inch rims. These are the 21s, so they're two-tone with the silver front fascia and the gloss black on the inserts. So yeah, they look absolutely huge. So 275 section millimeter tires on the front. You get these running boards which look really cool, and they're actually very helpful in getting in and out of the car. So you have roof rails in chrome. They look absolutely nice. This one has the chrome touches, but you can also get night package where you get all these chrome surrounds and gloss black. At the rear you have 315 section millimeter tires, which are absolutely huge. That is actually insane. I do like this rear quarter panel glass. It actually does help in eliminating some blind spots around the car, which is absolutely cool. So coming around to the rear, you have GLE 300D model designation. You have LED tail lights which look really cool, and yeah, some fake exhaust Mercedes thing. So you have this tow hook for towing your caravans and trailers and whatnot, and it is actually power operated, which is quite cool. Let's actually check out the interior. So guys, GLE interior. So at first glance, this interior isn't as wow as in the A-Class. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. For one, the air vents are not as cool, where in the A-Class you get the jet engine styled kind of vents, which certainly do stand out. In here, they look more generic, especially around the infotainment screen right here, and even on the center of the dash itself. Also, on the A-Class, you pay about 30k for the AMG line. Now you get the exterior AMG body kit. Also in the interior, you get the sport seats. You also get a black roof liner. In here, you still can pay for the AMG package, but if it's the exterior one, it only gets you the body kit and it doesn't include all the interior stuff. You still need to pay extra for the AMG touches on the interior, which is, it's a bit of a shame. But what I've realized is that in the GLE you have to pay a lot more money to get some of the features and stuff. But nonetheless, it is typical Mercedes Benz. It is still very nice. You still get the cool ambient lighting. You get the same MMI MBUX system that's in the A-Class, which is quite insane. I think when it was released in the A-Class, it was actually crazy that their base car has the better interior, which followed through into their higher up models like the GLE, because this interior configuration was first introduced in the A-Class. By the way, if you haven't seen my A-Class and GLA reviews, do check out those videos. The links will be down in the description below. So some of the differences in the GLE: you get these grab handles because this is an off-road vehicle, so you can hang on for dear life when you're doing your off-roading. You still get the same AMG style steering wheel, this one being the AMG line. You get this brushed aluminium touch on the dashboard, which is really nice. You can get a host of crazy like materials inside here. You can even get carbon fiber, which is insane because this is not an AMG model. You can get some proper high quality Napa leather. You can get two-tone seats in like black and white, which is really nice. But as standard, you get more traditional man-made leather, which is, it's not quite as nice as Napa leather, but if you do have the money for it, you can pay and they'll make it look nice. So glass panoramic sunroof, and don't quote me, but I think this comes as standard, which is insane because manufacturers normally charge a lot for like a pan roof. So infotainment system, like I said, it's still the same system as in the A-Class and it works in the same way, so I'm not gonna go much in depth. You still get the same features and stuff, and for me personally, I think this is the best infotainment system currently in the auto industry because it is intuitive, it is easy to go through, and it is high res, and it does offer some good features. You also get the same digital driver display, and you get the same controls on the steering wheel, where on the left side they control the infotainment screen, and then on the right side they control this driver display. So you get some aluminum touches on the doors for the window controls, for the door handles, and also just on the door trims, and even stuff like the parking brake and the light controls. They're actually plastic, but they are made to look more like aluminum. Quality is actually quite good, but it gets better when you upgrade to like the Napa leather and so on. But yeah, let's actually check out the room out in the back seat. So GLE back seat. Now this is a very big SUV, and there's no need for me to tell you how much room there is in here because you guys can see plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom, and you can just get nice and cozy back here. It's quite pleasant. You have two USB-C ports down here for charging your devices. The seats are both leather and Alcantara in the middle. I don't think I mentioned that in the front. Same applies to the front seats. Decent, nice stitching, but like I said, in the A-Class AMG line you get like red stitching, which does help lift up the interior. You don't get the same here, but yeah, it's quite pleasant back here with the AMG floor mats as well. You get a nice view of the panoramic sunroof, and yeah, it's quite a nice place to be back here. Let's actually check out the boot space. So, GLE boot space. Now, this being a big SUV, the space is actually quite huge. So this is about 600 liters 630 liters of boot space, which is, yeah, absolutely huge. It's actually quite pleasant back here. The carpeting feels really nice and very premium. You do have some netting for storing your stuff. You have some tie down points where you can, tie down your luggage. Yeah, so it's actually quite nice. One thing I've realized is that the tailgate doesn't go quite high, so for someone who's a bit taller than me, you might bump your head on it. But yeah, nothing more to see, I guess. The underfloor, oh, you do get a spare wheel, which is quite nice. The spacing down here is also quite decent, so you can store some extra stuff down there. So yeah, power tailgate because SUV. So trim levels on here are actually quite simple and straightforward, like I've learned with the other models like the A-Class and the GLA. So you have your very base GLE, which starts from this price, and for about just under 50 grand you can upgrade to the AMG line, which gets you the AMG body kit and so forth. So that's pretty much all your trim levels. Okay, so engine choices. Now, interesting enough, we're actually going to continue with the pricing because the engine specification also heavily influences the price, the base price of the vehicle. Now, your very base car is the GLE 300D. Now, that comes with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder motor, which is a diesel, and it makes about 180 kilowatts, which is roughly 245 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. Now, acceleration is about 7.2 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour, and that starts from this price. Now, above that you have the GLE 400D that comes with a 2.9 liter turbo straight 6 diesel, which makes around 243 kilowatts, which is roughly 330 horsepower and 700 newton meters of torque. Now, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is about 5.7 seconds, which is fairly quick. Now, that starts from this price. Now, there used to be the GLE 450D, but currently on the official Mercedes Benz SA website, that car is no longer there. Well, that specification is no longer there. Now, I'm not really sure if it'll re-emerge with the facelift, but if you want to know, that comes with a 3-liter turbo inline 6 motor, and it's a petrol motor, and it makes about 390-ish horsepower, which is around 270-ish kilowatts, something like that. Now, all cars come with a 9G automatic transmission, which is, well, a 9-speed box. Now, yeah, that's pretty much all your engine choices. So guys, you joined me inside Mercedes Benz GLE, and let's experience what it's like to drive. So far I've driven the car for a good few minutes, and one thing that stands out for me is the suspension. It feels quite nice, and remember, this is a very tall vehicle and it doesn't feel floaty or boaty, or it doesn't actually roll a lot. But I'm not really driving quickly where I can like drive it to its limits, but driving normally as like any other car, it feels, yeah, quite sublime. Okay, this being a higher up range model, you have the benefit of speccing it with air suspension, and remember, this is just the normal suspension system and it already feels good, so I can't imagine what the air suspension is actually going to feel like. So with the air suspension, you actually have the benefit of raising and lowering the ride height, which will be useful in like an off-road type of situation. You also have the feature where the car can dance and bounce up and down. So Mercedes actually say that feature is for like getting you out of like tricky situations when you're off-roading, which is quite cool. So the gearbox, I'm currently driving in comfort, so if I flick it into sport, Okay, we're in sport right now. I'm doing about, okay, I'm just gonna let the car behind me pass me because it seems like he's in a hurry. Okay, so currently driving in sport. I'm doing about just over 70 kilometers an hour. So if I go foot flat, so gearbox responds really well. And yeah, the 500 Newton meters is actually quite useful. So performance is, yeah, quite a lot. It's quite decent and you don't need any more. So yeah, car rides well. It feels very comfortable. Sound insulation is also really good. So yeah, I can't really find any faults when it comes to the driving experience. Visibility is also quite good. I remember what I said about those rear quarter panel windows. They actually help eliminate some blind spots. So when you actually look back there, when you're maneuvering around, it's actually quite easy to see around you. One other thing that I love in actually all the new Mercedes-Benz models is their reverse camera system with the 360 degree view and stuff. The resolution is absolutely good. It's so high and it's so easy to see around you. And yeah, it has a host of safety systems like emergency auto braking. You do have some parking sensors all around. You can also spec stuff like blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, but you do have to pay a lot more for all those things. But yeah, other than that, great driving experience. It does feel quite premium in here, which you do want in a car of this caliber. So yeah, I have nothing more to share about this car, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, that's cheers from me.